Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Krista. Of course, I have been MIA for about a year now, so I have an excuse for that. I'm actually pregnant, so I'm due in November, which is about a month and a half, almost 2 months from now. So I have not been posting. I have not documented my pregnancy, the journey at all, because I have been, if I wasn't working, I was sick. This little one in here has definitely been putting me through the mill. So I'm trying to post videos now because I'm on maternity leave and I'm able to answer questions that I have been asked 2 years ago that I did not answer, which is my fault. But we will figure it out, and I'm going to be posting now every week. So with that being said, welcome back to my old almost 300 subscribers. And if you're new, subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell so that you're notified when I post videos, and tell your friends about it so that you can become part of the family. Let's jump right in. I'm just going to answer the basics. My name is Krista. I am a domestic-based flight attendant for a mainline airline, and I cannot say the name. But I am now based in San Francisco. When you guys heard about me last, I was based in Los Angeles, and I'll tell you guys why. So I transferred the moment I found out I was pregnant. In Los Angeles, I was either holding a line some months, and then I was on reserve other months. So what happened was, I found out I was pregnant, and I was like, oh my god, like, I need to transfer to a base where I'm going to be guaranteed to hold a line, because I'm going to need doctor's appointment days off. I'm going to need days off just for sick leave, everything, the whole 9 yards. So I transferred to San Francisco. It was literally approved within the same month. And I was holding a very hard line, meaning like I knew my schedule every month until I went on maternity leave. I live in Florida and I commute. So in order to go to work, I have to fly from Florida to San Fran. When you're pregnant, that long ass flight is probably the worst thing known to man. I don't know how I did it for the amount of times that I did do it, but I got through it. I'm not going to do the interview questions in this video because I have 2 interview videos up already. What I wore, the questions they asked, how I answered them. But if you want me to post another one, a little bit more details, I can do that as well. I had a few questions about maternity leave because a lot of flight attendants around me actually were pregnant at the same time. And I was all new to this whole flying while pregnant. Here's the deal. When you become pregnant as a flight attendant, you don't lose your job. It's 2018. If jobs are firing you for getting pregnant, that's seriously something wrong. They work with you. They try to make sure that your schedules don't conflict with your doctor's appointments. You just have to communicate with your supervisor. I let my supervisor know everything. I was like, look, if I can't do this, I need this. If I can't do that, I need that. But I also filled out FMLA and I was approved. They approve you up until your due date. So FMLA is family medical leave absence. You can either get it for yourself, or say if you have a sick parent or relative, immediate family only, they give it to you. You're not paid when you call out and use FMLA, but you don't get any strikes, points, warnings, or anything like that when you use FMLA. So like, you could call out, they approve you a certain amount of times a month to call out of work if indeed you can't get your schedule rotated or shifted to where it works with your doctor's appointments. I didn't tell my supervisor I was pregnant until about 17 weeks, just because everyone knows this. You want to get out of that first trimester, because there's no point in telling your supervisor, oh my goodness, I'm pregnant at 5 weeks. God forbid you have a miscarriage. There was no point in telling your supervisor you were pregnant in the first place. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings. I know people are sensitive to that subject, but I'm being real, I'm being honest. Be well into the second trimester and then share the news, because the percentage of you losing the baby goes down completely. So I told my supervisor, and of course they make sure that if you are on reserve, well, they try to make sure. You have to let scheduling know, and you have to let all of your departments know, because if you're on reserve, anywhere where Zika is at the moment, your doctors don't want you going there, point blank period. I told my doctor, I was like, well, my child was conceived in Argentina, so is that a problem? He's like, no, as long as when your boyfriend comes home, you know, he gets tested for Zika or anything else, because he also went to, for the summer league, he played in DR, and then he played in Puerto Rico, and of course the Zika outbreak, and if he brought that back to me, it can be transmitted sexually. So your scheduling will make sure that they don't randomly, you know, assign you a Costa Rica or anywhere where Zika is, because they know you're pregnant. So they kind of try to cater to your pregnancy. But that didn't happen one time for me. I actually got assigned to Costa Rica, but it didn't even dawn on me that the Zika was in Costa Rica. So I just went, I enjoyed myself, I was by the pool, and then it was like, I was tired, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to my room. And then I was like, my friend was like, oh, and I was, you know, on my Insta story, and she's like, you're in Costa Rica? Girl, you're pregnant, Zika. And I was like, oh. And I didn't know what to do. I was just like, okay. I called schedule, and they're like, oh, well, you know, you leave tomorrow, is that okay? I was like, just like, yeah, I mean, I don't mind. I didn't even realize, I didn't get bit by anything, but as soon as I came back, I told my doctor, he was just like, it's okay, you know, we'll draw some blood, make sure it's negative, and every time for the next 6 months, we're gonna draw your blood again, you know, just to be sure, because sometimes it takes, I think, up to 6 months for symptoms to even show. So I was like, oh, you know, stop freaking out, Krista. Number 2, how to work pregnant. As flight attendants, we do a lot of pushing and pulling. That's not necessarily good, especially on the cart. Yeah, your body may be used to it, but you do not want to put any strain on your uterus. That's what my doctor told me. These are everything I'm telling you is what my doctor told me, and I'm just sharing it. So if you're a flight attendant and you're working, what's the best position to work? So of course everyone's like, oh, first class galley. Then you want to be the, you know, the lead or the purser or the flight coordinator, whatever term you use. And then you want to do top of the bar cart and then back galley. And I was like, really? They're like, yes, those are the best positions. So for the rest of the time that I was working, I position bid. So I position bid for the rest of the month for first class galley, and I got it every single time. So I didn't even have to worry about working in the back, working in the aisle, or working on the cart. It was easy, and I don't mind squatting, because it's actually good for you to be, you know, that squatting is good for you, because you're gonna be doing a lot of squatting when it's time to push this baby out. So the up and down movement was fine. You know, it kept me active. I got my exercise, I got my steps in the airport. I still wore my heels. I had no problem with my back or anything, but I stopped working at 32 weeks. Does the airline pay for your maternity leave? There are so many states that have different maternity leave stipulations. The best place I was told to have a baby or get pregnant or be based at, if you're a flight attendant, is New Jersey and California. Apparently they have the best disability. And I know people are like, disability, but I'm not sick, I'm not ailing, I'm not dying. That is true. However, even though it sucks, pregnancy falls under disability. So they're asking you why you can't work, and you actually, there's a pregnancy box you check and it says pregnancy. They approve you and you get paid everybody's different. So I can't really explain to you what it'll be for you if you're a pregnant flight attendant about to be on leave. But for me, it'll be almost about 6 months I'll be getting paid. But it's not from work. It's because they take disability out. California state disability is taken out of my check. And then there's also, you know, they have bonding pay for you and the baby after the baby is here. Then you even go into unemployment. But I'm not paid for my job. I opted for the year. I will be off a full year. Most normal jobs, you get 3 months. I won't have to go back until September of next year. But my airline, I can only fly my airline on maternity leave. I don't know how it works for other airlines, but mine, I can only fly on mine. Before, I could fly on any airline, but I guess because I'm on leave. And last but not least, KCM, null and void. KCM stands for non-crew member, and it's what the flight attendants and pilots go through so that we don't have to go through security and stand in line. Of course, if you're randomly picked, you have to go through security, but KCM becomes ex-neg. And I do plan on coming back to fly full-time probably after that. I don't know yet. That's all I have. Pregnancy related questions for flight attendants. If you have any more, comment them below or shoot me a DM. I'm trying to reboot my page and, you know, just upgrade everything. Let me know what you want to see, what questions you have. That's all for today, guys. I'm sorry I was rambling, but I was just trying to catch you guys up because give you an update on my life. Hit me up, subscribe, share, and turn on my post notifications. It was good talking to you guys, and I'll see you guys soon.